So Charlie, as I said, we have a correction action steps. The trouble is it's continuous, so it's not like it's one plan and then we move forward and it's really kind of doing things. And so there are categories. So the categories, and the one thing that I want to correct is that there was really only one finding. The others were recommendations. So we weren't slammed by the federal government. It really wasn't that bad. I've been with a lot of audits, so it really wasn't that bad an audit. It was just recommendations and some of the things the federal government didn't understand, some uniqueness of New Jersey. So the categories are governance, management and operations, physical, financial, and those are the basic categories. And so what we've been doing since early this year is really kind of going with them. So when some of the governance issues relate to training for the board and executive staff. Through HUD has something called the Lead the Way training. So we've been doing some additional training through the board. And again, this is, I'm a new chair. So this is, I'm learning more about this. Internal control policy, some internal training about improving our internal control policies. Increasing the board and executive staff's knowledge of technical procedures regarding board training procurement. Just see what's happened is things have changed over time. So there's some new with different administrations. There's some new requirements that I think some of the people didn't know about. So what we're doing is there, and improve the board's awareness and knowledge of their scoring system. So one of the things most boards don't understand what the federal scoring system is, and so we've learned some more about that scoring system. And just understanding the financial operations, getting a little better, deeper understanding of the financial operations of the Public Housing Authority. So a lot of the governance things, they're nothing really horrendous. It's just that the board members are volunteers, and it's a time commitment. So the second one is management and operations. And so we want to increase the services offered through the Section 8 system. So we want to make sure. And so all the ones I mentioned. So in April and March and April, we've completed all the governance stuff.
That's out of the way.
That's out of the way. So the governance stuff. But again, part of it is those of us on the board, we want to continue to learn. The things change all the time. Right. We have a new administration. Who knows what changes they're going to have.
Sure.
So then management operations. So the Section 8 program is to really find, get a little more resident involvement and see if we can improve services. The challenge there is our budgets have been decimated, and we've tried to do some things. I don't know what this new president's going to do. Some said they're going to expand Section 8. Others say they're going to contract it. So who knows? We want to make sure that a resident commissioner is as active as possible on the board to make sure, because it's important to have resident involvement. So we want to make sure that we have active residents. One of the challenges too with the board is the education requirement. There's a time commitment. People working, not a lot of people have extra money that they can take time off to go to class and do that stuff. And so luckily I did mine like 8 years, several years ago. Let's see, the improved cost efficiency, employee benefits. So kind of, we're looking to make sure we have the maximum kind of employee benefits available. The ongoing, we're trying to make sure that the pilot, the payment in lieu of taxes agreement between the city and the Public Housing Authority, is as tight as it can be, and that's where attorneys come in. The interagency activities, one of the things we've had to do is, because we've been cut back, is actually work with other housing authorities, to basically be a consultant to other housing authorities, so we can generate revenue.
Interlocal agreements.
Interlocal agreement.
Okay.
Some of the recommendations and questions were about, are we charging too much? Are we charging enough? And that's something that they can't make a recommendation, because it all depends on the market.
Sure. And
what the needs are. So that's the second category. So that's the management and operations. The next are physical, kind of the physical. And let me tell you, I want to be as complete. So we completed the resident commissioner. We completed looking at some of the cost efficiencies. The pilot is an ongoing thing. We're continually looking at that to figure out how it goes, because it depends on the tax base, it depends on the school budget, it depends on a lot of things. So the physical is to really look at improving our operation and maintenance of the program, of the physical program. And
Be for Schwartz Robeson.
yeah. I mean, really to make sure that it's as clean as possible. Obviously, there's some federal laws that that make it often difficult to try to keep the places as pristine as possible. There's sometimes there's not a heavy penalty for folks who mess up their place, while there's no reward for people who take good care of their place. We have ongoing energy audit. We're trying to do another energy audit to make sure that we're based on current energy requirements that we're saving as much money as possible. Our work order system, make sure our work order system is up to date to make sure that we're tracking what work is done and so on. Our inventory control system process, again, needs to be, a lot of these things are really look and update what we have. Make sure the inventory control system, what we have in our thing, make sure that's updated. Make sure that our annual inspection checklist for all the public housing units are up to date, and so all of these have been completed in either March, April, or August, and a maintenance plan, just to make sure our maintenance plan, and that's been done. But one of the things, and I'll be very honest, the executive director and others, we've seen some of these things, and we're trying to go above and beyond to say, and so that's there are benefits to an audit to really try to make sure that we, because we're short-staffed. We're doing the best we can, and sometimes there's some things that we didn't even get a chance to think about. So the physical, we've really made a lot of the improvements. So the financial, and so what we're going to do is probably do more presenting of the financial reporting, scoring to the Operations and Finance Committee. To really kind of go through what the rating scale is, why we got what we did. A lot of what you've been talking about is stuff that's happened a long time ago because their audits aren't timely. So a lot of the things we've completed.
And you're on that committee, right?
Yeah, I'm on the committee. Yep.
Who else?
I need to at the board to confirm people can attend. So so we can't. I can't commit to who's going to be on it because I got to make sure people approve it. So I don't want to say publicly, but I'll let you know at the meeting.
Okay. And it's on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I didn't see a notice yet.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'll let you know. We want to make sure that we give enough public notice. So that we may have to push it back because of that. So, but I'll let you know. I'll make sure you hear. I mean, again, I want, as a new chair, someone's new. I'm trying to improve communication so that there's no misunderstanding, and so that we as a board are trying to do the best we can to really make sure the housing authority is as effective as it can be in very challenging times. So the REACT scoring with the Operations Committee to go over that. So again, updated reports internally, that's externally to the board.
Right.
Internally, make sure there are reports of the financial strength of the various units and the various properties. We're working on improving the entire board's knowledge of finances. I have an MBA in finance from Wharton, so I know finance. Not everybody is comfortable with finance. We want to make sure everybody's comfortable. We're trying to have more regular meetings with the Operations Finance Committee, and John and his staff are going to provide more reports to the board. Kind of better communication between staff and board on what's going on. So that's really kind of our operating corrective action activities. And so I had them type this up for me, but it's not a report. This isn't a report, so I can't give it to you. So I hope that's helpful.